Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. Today's video I'm actually really excited because I have a new palette to play with, and it's actually like super colorful, so I feel like we're gonna be able to create like such a great look today. And the palette that I'm gonna be using is the TAMMI X Revolution, so Makeup Revolution. Now this is even more exciting for me because I don't have anything from Makeup Revolution, and I was actually shocked when I saw that they had this at Shoppers. I hadn't been to Shoppers in like a hot minute, so yesterday when I went in there, I saw that they had a bunch of Makeup Revolution things, and I saw this palette and I was like, I need to have you. You need to be mine. You need to be in my life. So I went ahead and purchased it. So I'm gonna be trying it out. I'll give you guys kind of like my first impressions and how the product is. I think from what I swatched yesterday, I think it's gonna be good, but we shall see it in action, obviously. So yeah, if you want to check out more of my videos, definitely check on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and give it a like to the video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I really appreciate you. And you know, I'm here for you. So yeah, let's get into the video. Alrighty guys, so I actually showed this palette on Instagram yesterday on my Instagram. If you're not following me on there, you should definitely follow me because I'm more active on there. Like, not every day, you know, depends on how I'm doing, but for the most part I'll definitely be on there. But I showed you guys kind of how the palette looks. First of all, like, this looks like so nice. I don't know what it is about the colors. They just like stand out so much, and I thought I knew who the influencer who collabed with Makeup Revolution was, but I didn't. I thought it was someone else, so I don't actually know who this influencer is. But you know, I just kind of like got intrigued by the palette. Like, look at this. This looks bomb. It looks really colorful, really beautiful. It has like pretty much every kind of shade that you want in here. And yeah, there were a few other palettes there that kind of caught my attention, but this one just kind of took the cake, and I was like, I'm taking you home. You're coming with me. It actually came with this little thing which has all the names on it. I just took it off yesterday because, like, you know, we don't really need that. We're just gonna get started. I feel like half of my makeup brushes are dirty from Halloween makeup, which also I entered a makeup contest for like kind of like a theme of like Catrinas, and I got second place, guys. Yeah, it was really cool. I had a really nice like time filming that, and it was kind of like a lot of pressure because I literally made the decision to get into the contest like the night before, and I needed a model, so like I went to my aunt's house and we recorded everything in the morning. Like, I literally went early in the morning because she lives like 40 minutes from me, so I just got up, I went there, and yeah, we started filming, had some drinks in the morning. And we just had a bomb time, and yeah, it was kind of like crazy though. It was kind of crazy just in terms of like we had to kind of rush it. Like, we didn't have time to prepare a lot, but I think we pulled it through. Let's dig into, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess we'll try the yellow. I want to try the yellow, see how it is, if it's nice and pigmented, if we get a lot of kickback. There's a bit, but not like a crazy ton, but there is a little bit. And I'm just gonna start this kind of on the crease. Oh wow, there's quite a bit of pigment there. I feel like yellows sometimes are not super pigmented. At least the ones that I've tried, I always kind of like struggle with the yellows, but this one seems to be doing good. Kitschy. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I feel like I want to play kind of with these grainy tones. Yeah. Should we do one eye and one eye? But I kind of want to, like, you know, do my full face as well and just kind of rock this as a look. So I think I'm not gonna do that. Also, it does come with a mirror, which is amazing. Amazing. It's a great mirror, a great size, and you can just see everything. I'm gonna dig into this greeny kind of tealy kind of color first with that same blending brush. Okay, this one seems to be like it picked up quite a bit on the brush, and I'm gonna start patting this kind of here on this outer part, and I'm literally just patting the pigment on there. Let's see if this is some pigment. I'm curious. So it's the third one. No, this is not. This is called Definitely. This is not a pressed pigment. I feel like it's pretty true to the shade on the pan, which is great. Also, this is another kind of like issue with colorful palettes, is that sometimes you look at the palette and then you apply it on your eyes and it's like they don't look the same. But this one seems to be just fine. It seems to be blending really well into the yellow. I'm just gonna dig into the yellow a little bit and blend the two even better. Yeah, that's nice. Now I'm gonna dig into the other green, which this one seems to be kind of like a true green, but I'm gonna use a different brush, one that's gonna pack a little bit more. So I'm gonna dig in there. Let's see if this one, so this one is called St. Catherine. Again, I feel like, because I don't really know this YouTuber or influencer, I can't really relate to the names. But I'm sure she has, like, you know, a whole story behind the names and everything. If you know this person, you know, you can probably relate. I honestly hadn't heard from her. The thing is, I did, when I was checking yesterday, because I was like, I feel like I know who this person is who collabed with the Makeup Revolution. But then when I checked it out, I realized that I didn't. But she has a beautiful profile. I'm definitely gonna be like check her out because she had some amazing looks. She is, you know, dark skin. She's gorgeous, and I feel like, you know, these colors are definitely gonna pop in my skin tone. Like, you know, I'm white as fuck, but I feel like someone with her skin tone are gonna love this palette because all of the shades are really gonna pop, especially the metallics. Oh my god. I saw her video. She was using this, like, this one that I wanted to use, and it looked bomb on her. Bomb. Okay, so we have some greeny kind of thing going on right now. Don't really know where to take it from here, to be honest, because I feel like I'm kind of lost. Let's try the orange. I think I want to try a little bit of this orange, kind of like on the lid. This one is called, which one is this one? Spice Island. And this one is a pressed pigment. So let's see what the difference is. One thing I'm noticing is it's kind of hard for it to kind of stick onto the lid. I feel like it's getting a little bit muddy. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Yeah, I'm not loving that like that. But then again, that's kind of a weird choice. I think I'm gonna pop the blue, the metallic blue. So I'm just gonna take it on my finger, literally just go in, pick a little bit, and I'm gonna apply the blue kind of like on the inner corner. Just like that. Like super bright. Like look at that. Super pigmented too. Wow. And then on the center, I'm gonna pop this one right there. And I'm kind of marrying the two of them together with popping that matte shade onto the lid. It wasn't really necessary, and also I feel like it's making it hard for these ones to kind of stick on there. A little bit hard. So yeah, don't do that at home. Love these shades. They look so bomb. And kind of on top of that, I'm gonna take this one because this one is kind of like a yellowy green kind of shadow. So I'm just gonna pop that kind of in the center, taking a little bit more blue. I'm just kind of mixing all of them, to be honest, so that I can get like a nice gradient. Do you guys see that? Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna take my blending brush and I'm gonna take the yellow and I'm just gonna go over kind of like the top of that right here. I'm gonna take to deepen out the outer V a little bit, I'm gonna take this like dark blue and I'm just gonna take that on a different brush, so the more packy brush. I'm just tapping off the edges because I don't want it to be like too much on there. And I am creating kind of like a V shape, so you guys can see I'm bringing it up. It depends on what kind of shape you want your eyeshadow to become, but for me, I usually go for these kind of looks, like kind of like, you know, angled. You don't have to. Again, you can definitely change up the way you apply the eyeshadow and manipulate kind of like with your face, but this is usually what I go for, so I'm just doing kind of like what I'm used to and what I like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out. I still feel like I need a little bit more darkness, so I'm actually gonna go into the black. I haven't swatched this one, but I mean it seems pretty black to me. So just gonna take a smaller brush just so that I don't get like black everywhere. Literally taking like a pencil brush, and I'm just gonna use that to really deepen things up over here. So you guys can see I'm kind of like patting the product in that same shape, and then you want to take your blending brush, whatever, oh sorry, whatever blending brush you were using, you want to take that again and just go over and blend the edges. Alright, so I'm back. As you can see, I literally applied my full face. I applied the Physicians Formula foundation, the Healthy Skin, I think it's called, foundation. Then I applied some cream bronzer, cream bronzer, holy shit. I applied a little bit of powder blush. I'll link everything down below, everything that I used. But let's move on to the lower lash line because I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing down there. Also, on the inner corner, I did apply this color right here, which is basically what's popping right now, because I definitely wanted an inner corner highlight, and I'm kind of bringing it up. So I'm putting my head back and then bringing it kind of like right there where my eye socket begins to like go in. I'm bringing it in there. I just feel like that just brings everything together. Don't really know what we should do. I feel like maybe adding the blue. Let's see. I'm gonna add this blue right on the lower lash line. I feel like this blue is quite powdery, so like once I tap off, a lot of it comes off the brush. But let's see. Yeah, this blue is kind of like, oh, it's not so much of a flaw, but you kind of have to pat in the color for it to really show up, because if you start going in like blending it, it kind of like comes off. So yeah, that's just a little tip. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have used like such a big brush, because I feel like that's going quite lower than I would have liked to, but it's okay. And I'm just gonna try to keep it kind of like clean right here on the inner corner, because I think I'm gonna pop in the purple kind of like metallic shade there. I'm gonna take the purple metallic, so this one right here, which looks gorge, and I'm gonna pop that right in here, which I know it's kind of random, but I feel like it looks kind of looks sick. I'm kind of blending it in with that blue, so I'm bringing it in a little bit right there. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this color, and I'm using that with a very precise brush, and I'm just gonna see if that does anything. Definitely feel like that blue color is not as pigmented, and it doesn't look like it does on the pan, because on the pan it looks like it would come up to be kind of like this shade, but it doesn't really come off like that. It could also be the way that I used it, maybe that's why it's not really like showing up like that. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts right now on it. I do like how everything looks though. I think it looks really nice and blended. It doesn't look patchy or anything like that. Like pretty much all the shades blended in together. Also did a wing liner, so as you can see, and it just kind of pulls the whole look together. And yeah, I really like it. I feel like it's super bright. It's like really colorful, you know? So yeah, do you guys like it? Now I'm gonna go ahead and take off the eye makeup and do another eye look. I think I'm gonna try and do kind of like using the purples. I think I'm really trying to play with those right now. So yeah, let's do a look. Alright, so I've just removed the top of my eyeshadow, the one that I had before. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer, because I did remove pretty much the concealer. Also, I think this eyeshadow stained my fingers. Do you guys see my fingers? They're like green. There you go. Much better. So as I said, I do want to play around with the purples from this palette. So this one specifically, which is what I used on the lower lash line, but I kind of want to do like a halo eye, so I think that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna take a packing brush, and I'm gonna start with this color. It's kind of like a mauve pink. Apply it on the outer V of my eye. The other colors that I used were super nice. They all blended together. So let's hope that it's the same case for these other ones, for purples, because they are sometimes a little bit more difficult to work with and also to like actually make them. So we shall see. This one is coming off pretty good. I feel like it looks a little bit darker. Actually, no. Yeah, it looks pretty good, and the same as the one on the palette. Now, originally, if you do buy this palette, you're going to probably be using other palettes with it, just because what I noticed is like there's not many transition colors, which is why I was kind of struggling with the other eye look. I mean, it came out nice and everything, but I definitely would have liked to have more transition shades just so that it's a little bit easier to work with. But again, this is a colorful palette, so most likely you're only going to be using it to, you know, kind of put a pop of color somewhere and whatnot, right? Like, you're not just going to be using this palette. You can, like I said, like how I was using it, but for the most part you're probably going to be using it in that way. So I'm just applying that on the outer and inner corner. Here it's becoming quite dark because I had a little bit of a blue color still from the last look. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other color, which is this one. It looks like it's a little bit brighter, and I'm just gonna pop that kind of like right on top of that. I am getting a little bit of fallout with this shade. I was kind of expecting, because usually purples again are a little bit harder to work with, and they'll probably be giving it a little bit of fallout here and there, so I don't really care. I'm just gonna apply concealer over that anyways. Okay, I really don't like how that's getting like hella dark in there. I'm applying it with the finger, and you guys see how much brighter it is with the finger? It's like hella bright. So I'm just using my finger basically to really bring some of that purpliness to it, because I don't know if it's the brush. It could also be just the brush that it's like too fluffy. I think it's just like all my brushes are dirty right now. That's so embarrassing. Yeah, so with more of like a packing kind of brush is a little bit better, and then you can go in and blend afterwards. But just going in with this all at once was kind of taking off most of like that pigment. So yeah, not so good, no muy bueno. Now we have two purple kind of like metallic shades here. I'm gonna show you guys them real quick. We have one that's a little bit darker, and then this one. Now what I kind of want to do is maybe apply the dark one kind of like in the center. So we're gonna go ahead and just use my finger. And I'm just gonna kind of blend the inner and outer corner, and then I'm gonna go in with the lighter purple onto the center. The only thing is, for sure, I feel like I need a darker purple. Like, I can definitely use like the black and maybe even the dark blue. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the dark blue, but I feel like definitely like a darker purple would have been perfect for this palette, because then I would be able to like pop that on the outer corner, you know what I mean? I mean, this blue it's nice, but it's completely off, you know, like there's the blue. It's off from the purple kind of like family, right? So like for sure I would have liked to have a darker purple. This one will do for now. The reason why I popped on, like before putting the light purple on, I put the dark purple because it helps it to pop even more. So even if you have like a, like per se you have a really like shimmery kind of like eyeshadow that you want to use, you can use like a dark base, like even like a black or something like that, for the light kind of like shimmer to pop through and really like be nice and intense. So that's basically what I'm doing right here. I'm just kind of building on that shade so that really pops. I really like how that looks. I just think it looks so pretty. I think I want to take the red, so this color right here. I'm just gonna take that, see how it goes. Yeah, so this is another one of those. It's kind of like the blue. Packing motions are going to be better to get the most out of like these kind of colorful shadows instead of going in right in and like kind of in a blending kind of motion, just because you kind of want to have to pack them on first. So that's something I'm noticing just from working with them right now. I'm gonna take the one that's right beside it, which is it's a little bit of a different undertone. It's kind of like more pinky. It's a little bit more pink instead of it like being like true red. And I'm just applying that right underneath there. In the inner corner, I feel like I could basically do the same thing that I did with the other eye, and pop in this like yellowy green color. I feel like if I were to wet the purple, it probably would even pop even more. I just didn't do that because I wanted to see it just like that, and even just like that it looks so good. That's what I was saying. I feel like I definitely need more transition colors because like right now I don't really know where to go from here, like to apply kind of like on top to kind of blend everything together. That's the only issue that I would have again with this palette. I'm gonna take the pencil brush that I was using before and just take a little bit of the black again and kind of use that right here in this outer part to deepen things up a little bit, but I'm not gonna bring it as high as I did with the other look. I'm just gonna keep it kind of like a smoky liner situation, a little bit lower. I'm gonna go ahead and use some eyeliner. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera and like finish off like my concealer, and then I'll be right back. So I am back. I'm ready to give you guys all my thoughts on this palette and whether or not I think it's worth it, because I actually didn't tell you guys the price, but I paid $20 for this eyeshadow palette. So what are my thoughts? So I came up with like kind of like a greeny kind of look, as you guys saw at the beginning, and now I came up with like a purpley look. Now my thoughts on this palette are, I like it. I definitely enjoy playing with it. I think this eyeshadow look, the purple one that I just created, was a little bit difficult to create. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the purples are, I don't know, it's kind of a weird formula, because this eyeshadow, when I packed it on with the finger, it was really nice and pigmented. It does stick on the lid, like even if you use your finger, right? Which like sometimes I have experienced that, you know, matte eyeshadows don't really stick on the lid. With these ones, I had no trouble doing that. Like I was able to pack this one on the lid with my finger without a problem. The only thing is, once I went in with the metallic shade, it was a little bit hard for it to stick on there. So that's definitely not, you know, the most recommended thing I would recommend, since the formulas are different, right? So the matte is gonna leave kind of like a, not powdery, but kind of like a silky kind of way, kind of like, you know, finish on the lid. And then if you're trying to put your metallic shade on top of that, it's not really gonna stick. It's gonna kind of just like chill on top, and you're gonna have to really build it up, which is what I had to do. Now, as I was saying before, most of the times if you're gonna be using a palette like this, which is really colorful, it's not the only one you're gonna be using. So today I was only using this, so I was kind of struggling a little bit to really like find a transition shade, you know, be able to create a full look with it. But I feel like, you know, for the most part, you're gonna be using this like in conjunction with another palette, right? So let's say I'm gonna be using this heat palette, right? Let's say I'm gonna use these for transitions, and then I'm gonna go in with this palette for whatever color, like let's say the green or the purple or the blue, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. So yeah, like I definitely enjoyed using it. I feel like I'm just gonna have to get used to working in conjunction with another one, because for the most part I try to use just one palette, like if I'm doing any looks. But this is definitely a colorful palette, so it's not gonna be like a one-time palette or like a one palette and I'm good to go. This is definitely more to just go with other palettes. Overall though, I really enjoyed it. I feel like the colors work really great, and the metallic shades are really, really nice as well. I want to try next using like these ones, which are, I didn't want to use them because I feel like they're gonna be kind of boring. Like it's just kind of like fall kind of look. So I wanted to try out the purples and like the blues and the greens, and I really, really like those. I think I'm gonna try and do kind of like just like a all matte look next time, just to see how they work. Definitely, because some of them are pigments, they work better like packing them on. I mean, that's kind of like already how it is, right? Like if you're gonna use like a matte shade, you want to kind of like pack it on, but especially with pigments, you definitely want to like pack them on, or they're just not gonna like when I was using the purple shade at first, I was using this like fluffy kind of brush, and because of the fact that it's so fluffy, like it wasn't really packing it on, so it wasn't giving me like 100% pigment, right? So that's what I mean. But other than that, I think it's such a nice palette. It's good to have in your collection. Like for me, I didn't really have colors like this, which is why I went and purchased it. For the first time using Makeup Revolution shadows, I think they're pretty good, and they, you know, they work great. The only thing is like with the purple shades, like I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I can tell because I'm just like picky like that. This eye looks a little bit like, especially right here in this area, to me it looks a little bit muddy, and I wish it was a little bit more blended than this side. I feel like this side, because I already knew kind of like the formula and I already knew how to work with it, it was it came out a little bit better than this one. So those are just kind of things that I see. It's also, you know, I'm getting used to working with this kind of formula. I've never worked with it, so yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, the two looks using one palette, my first impressions, my kind of review. I'm gonna keep using it, and I'll let you guys know kind of like if I feel, you know, away later on, if I don't like it or something like that. But yeah, I want to definitely try out more things from them, because they had so many things. I just don't, you know, it's like, should I really be buying more makeup during a pandemic? Probably not, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Tell me why I got like hella sick. And it's only 5 p.m. but it's dark out there.